Hi, my name is Surya Singh. I am one of the mentors at Programming Pathshala. I am expert on code forces and 5-star on CodeChef. In this video, we are going to solve problem C from Kickstart Round H 2022. So problem basically says that we are given with n cities or n nodes which are connected using n-1 edges, and all those nodes have some values associated to them, right? And just using this information, we can say that it will be a tree, right? Because there are n nodes which are connected using n-1 edges. So we can say that it will be a node, or it will be a tree, or we can say that there will not be any cycles, right? Okay, cool. So let's take an example. Let's say we have a node with value 5, then we have a node with value 3, then we have a node with value 4, and let's say these are connected, right? And let's say then we have a node with value, let's say 1, then we have a node with value 2, and then let's say we have a node with, okay, that's it. So let's say then we have a node with value 2, then again we have a node with value 6. Okay, cool. So all these nodes are connected. Now the question says that we have to supply some power to one of these nodes, and let's say if we supply that power to this node 5, in that case that power can be supplied to adjacent nodes with value smaller than 5. So if we supply power to 5, then in that case we can also supply power to 3, and we can also supply power to 2, and if we are supplying power to 2, then this can supply power to 2, and it can't supply power to 4 because 4 is having a value greater than 3, right? So this will happen if we supply power to 5, right? And similarly for other values it will be like it will supply power to some other nodes, right? Okay, so one thing we can say for sure is that we can move from a node with higher value to a node with a smaller value. So we can say that this graph will be directed, right? Although in question or problem statement it is given as undirected, but we can say that we will have direction from higher value to lower value. Let's say from 6 to 2 we will have a direction, from 4 to 3 we will have a direction, and from 4 to 1 we will have a direction. So right, so we will get a directed tree which is unrooted, right? Okay, and we are not also interested in root, right? So now what we have to do, like we just try to supply power to 5, and in that case we saw that we can supply to 3 also, 2 also, and this 2 also, right? So in that case we can say that we can supply power to 4 nodes or 4 cities if we just supply power to 5. And now if we just try to supply power to 6, in that case we can say that if we supply power to 6, then we will also be able to supply power to 2. So in that case we are able to supply power to 2 cities. And if we try to, let's say, supply power to 1, in that case we can only supply power to 1 city. Similarly for this 2 also we can supply power to only 1 city. And if we try to supply power to this 4, then in that case we can supply to this 3 also, then 1 also, and then this 2 also, right? So basically we can say that we will be able to supply power to all the nodes which are connected, right? Like from 4 if we start, and it is from here we can reach to all these nodes, right? So if we supply power to 4, then we can also supply power to all the nodes which are connected to 4, right? Which means we have to find out the maximum number of nodes which are connected or reachable from one node, right? This is what we have to find out according to the problem statement, right? Okay, and to do so, what we can do? Okay, so let's pick a random value, let's say 3, right? So if we choose this 3 and we want to find out the maximum number of cities which are reachable from this 3. So we can say that there are only 2 cities, like this is the first, okay, so from 3 we can reach this 2. And from 2 we cannot reach to any other city. So we can say that from 2 we can only reach 1 city, and from 3 we can reach 2 cities, right? Okay. Similarly, let's say now let's pick this 4, or let's just pick this 1. So right, from 1 we can only reach to 1 city, which is this itself. Like from here we cannot reach to any other city, right? Now if we just talk about 4, then in that case we can say that for 4 we can from 4 we can reach to this 3, or we can reach to this 1, right? So if we go to this 3, then we know that we will be able to reach 2 cities, right? So we can say that we can reach to this city 4, so 1, and if we go to 3, then we will be able to reach 2 more cities, and if we go to this 1, then we will be able to reach 1 more city. In total, then we can say that we will be able to reach 4 cities if we pick 4 as a starting node, right? Okay, now let's talk about let's say this 5. So from 5 we can reach to this 3, right? So if we reach 3, then we know that we will be able to reach 2 cities in total. So we can say if we move or take this path, then we will be able to reach 2 cities. And if we take this path, then we can reach 2, and from 2 we can't reach anywhere. So we can say that from 2 we can only reach 1 city. So if we pick this path, in that case we will be able to reach 1 more city, and 5 is a city which we can surely reach if we start from 5, right? So in total here also we got 4 cities that we can reach, right? Okay, now let's talk about the only value which is left, which is 6, right? So from 6 we can reach 2, and we already know that from 2 we can only reach 1 city. So in total we can say that we will be able to reach 2 cities from 6, right? So in this way we can find out the number of cities that are reachable from a particular node, right? And if we know this information, then we also know that to how many cities we will be able to supply the power. And we just wanted to find out the max, a city from which we can supply power to maximum cities, right? So in that case we can say that we just want the maximum value that we got for all these values. And in this case the maximum value is this 4. We can say that if we pick 4 or 5 to initially supply the power, in both the cases we are able to reach or supply power to 4 cities, right? Okay, so this is the code, this is the logic, right? So let me just write a quick code for this problem statement, right? So we will be given with the undirected graphs that we can convert to directed graph very easily, right? So let me just write the DFS function. So what we can do is, let's say we can have a DFS function in which what we'll pass the adjacency list, and we will also pass a vector in which we will store that how many cities are reachable from that particular city. So let's say in DP vector we are storing that, and we will also pass the current city we are on, right? Okay, and from here we have to return the maximum number of cities that are reachable, or we can say the total number of cities that are reachable from this value, this node current. Okay, so let's say we will initialize this this DP vector with 0, right? Okay, now let me just first calculate the answer. So we can say that DP of current will be equals to 1, right? Even if we are not able to reach any city, at least we will be able to reach 1 city, which is this current city, right? Okay, now what we can do is we can iterate over all the adjacents of this node, and we can find out that how many cities are reachable from those nodes, right? So we can start, let's say auto of, we have this next variable, adjacency of current, okay, cool. So this will help us iterate over all the adjacents. Now what we can do is we can call the same function, and we can pass adjacency, and now the new node will be this NXT, right? Okay, now this will return the number of nodes that are reachable from this NXT, right? So in that case what we can do, we can just simply do dp of current plus equals to this thing. Okay, so after this for loop we will be sure that this dp of current represents the total number of cities or nodes that are reachable from this node, right? So in that case we can say that we can return dp of current, right? Okay, cool. Now like we initialize this dp vector with 0, right? And now if we have already calculated our answer for a particular value of node, then we can say that there is no need to calculate the answer for it again. So we can have a if check here. So if dp of current is not equals to 0, in that case we can return dp of current, right? Because we have already calculated the answer, so we can simply return this thing. Okay, cool. Okay, so now this is the main DFS logic, and other things we can write, and I'll make sure that you get the whole code. Okay, now if we just talk about the time complexity of this, then we can say that this will run, like this part will run at most for every node, it will run only once, because we are having this check, right? So the overall time complexity of this will be order of n, right? Because this for loop will run in total e number of times, which is number of edges, and number of edges are n minus 1. So the time complexity will be order of n, right? And space complexity will also be order of n, right? Okay, cool. So, and we can have a follow-up question for this problem, and that is that what if we are given with more edges than n minus 1? In that case, how we can solve this problem, right? So this can be a follow-up. You can try to think, and we can also discuss it in comment section, or if you guys want, then we can make a separate video on that particular follow-up. Okay, so that's all for this video, and I'll meet you in the next one. Bye. If you found the video helpful, then do like, share and subscribe. And if you're looking to improve your problem solving skills and get 100% interview ready, then take a free trial on programmingpathshala.com. Link will be in the description.